Okay, hi everybody. My Camtasia free trial is running out today, so I decided to um, put at least one more video of me playing Scrabble against Quackle. Well, something I neglected to mention the first time was that there's a few options you can choose before you start playing. You can use Speedy Player or Competition Player, etc., etc. Speedy Player is the one that just slaps the words down straight away. Some people prefer to practice with the Competition Player, because it takes a bit longer to make its moves, and you have time on your own rack to assess the situation and hope that Crackle doesn't go in your spot, etc. But I always play speedy player because it's just easier. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna take you through in a slightly different way from the first video that I put out. I'm gonna assess as we go, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Immediately, I can see that this is going to be a tough game against Quackle. Doesn't give me a very nice rack to start with. Alright, so I can't get rid of Q, well, I can. I can get rid of QAT cat. It's an Ethiopian tree or something, which seems to be it seems to account for about half of the definitions in the Scrabble word list. East African tree. One of the running jokes. I imagine how much we laughed um, when I was playing Scrabble in New Zealand about that. Oh, what does that mean? Probably an African tree. Anyway, so I'm tempted to keep my Q in this situation. I'm not sure whether I should or not, but if I get rid of QA for cat, DDNNS is absolutely abysmal. I'd probably much rather play something like Dan somewhere, or even just change. And to be honest with you, I think I will change in this situation because I can't score an appreciable amount of points for a good leave. I can't throw away tiles for few points and a good leave. So I think in that situation, the best leave I can see, it's one of those experience things. I think the best leave is NAS, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to get rid of DD and Q. And the way to do that with Quackle is to go, well, the way I know is, I think I've done this in the first video, I can't remember. Exchange DD and Q like that. And then you press enter, it'll ask you to commit, and you click the little box that says commit. Right, and I'm immediately so far behind Quackle, I wonder whether it's even worth continuing this video, but you never know, I might get lucky in the future. So anyway, Indusia is something that's immediately slipping out to me, and Swidian, it's an anagram. Um, there's when you've got a rock like this, if you know enough words, you're basically nothing but a bingo is going to really be worthwhile. So you have to see these straight away. And obviously, I've seen a couple straight away, and I can play them. I can play at least one of them. What I'm thinking of, in particular, we see a good one of the top players in the game. Nigel Richards once said to me, "You see a good move, fair enough. Then try and see another one. Try and see a better one." And it's always a good idea to try and see a better one. So if you see Indusia straight away and you think, oh, yeah, I'll hook onto the A, or you can make it into an S hook for the double word there, don't necessarily think it's the best move you could possibly play. Have it in the bag, fair enough, and it's nice to see something that you know you can play at some point, but always try and see something else. And I'm thinking there might be something through the C for a double-double, which will be the ultimate play in this situation. Unfortunately, I just can't see what it is if there is one. So I am going to go ahead and play Induzias here. If somebody else sees something better, then fair enough. Hit me up. Oh, hang on a minute. Induzias is not a word. What? Okay. So here's the here's the second thing I would do normally in a game. I'd check Zizova just to confirm, because you never know if there's a game flaw. Indusia must be a plural. It's a plural of Indusium. I didn't know that. You can play Swidians though. Well, for the sake of this video, instead of it being a sad thrashing of me, I normally would just say no, don't play, and then pass the Quackle. But I'll play Swidians here because you saw me see the word as well, so that's fair enough. Right, okay. Again, a really awful whack. It's very difficult to catch up with 100 point deficit when Quackle keeps giving you this kind of stuff. But there are certain words I can do. I can do puny here, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When you've got like nothing but one vowel, you're trying to get rid of as many consonants as possible, obviously. But you might be surprised how often, how available these words are. Things like puny and fancy through here, which is more points, and that's probably what I'm going to play. You're trying to think a little bit about the synergy of the letters you're leaving on your rack. Getting rid of the F and a Y is great because pungy is not a bad, also pugy, whatever, is not a bad leave at all. So fancy is whoa, something's going on. What's going on? Hey, computer, stop it. Right, so fancy. I'll play fancy now. The colour scheme's been changed. Why? What are you doing? I didn't ask you to do that. I was in the middle of a game here. Ah! Whatever. My computer is going crazy on me. I'll just do this again, just to confirm. Okay. And it's given me 3 more consonants. I can't believe this. This is not cool. Okay. Well, it's having a little laugh at my expense. I think this computer program of mine. Durgy, D-U-R-G-Y, is the best word I can see in there. It means short and stubby, like a dwarf. Durgy. But the only place I can see is there for that one. It's just very few points. I might as well play Pewley here. Drug. Drug is not the worst leave. I can't really leave a good leave here though, can I? So, I mean, another option that you might think about is maybe hooking 2, making a 5-letter word down here, but I don't see anything. There's tool is the only word that goes there anyway, if you start with an L. Lurgy, I suppose, isn't too bad. So let's have a look. Let's assess the 2 different moves. Pewley is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26. Lurgy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, 25. So it's less points. But DP, I probably prefer DP to drug as a leave, to be honest with you. I value it at more than 1 point difference, so I will play Lady. At this point we're looking for tile 10 over as well. It's early in the game. There are S's and blanks on the scene, or there's 1 blank on the scene, 2 S's. And you want to give yourself the best chance of hitting these nice power tiles. Z's already gone, but there's an X, there's a Q, there's a K, there's a J. You don't really want the Q, but it is seen as a power tile. Anyway, you give yourself more of a chance of, I don't know, picking up something, because with drug, you're basically never going to get a 7 in that word. I believe like drug, so you might as well play more letters out and just see what you can pick up, because it is a game of chance in that respect, and you have more chance of collecting more good stuff if you know how to handle the things that are put in front of you. You're better off giving yourself more chance of getting more tiles. Basically, that's how I see it anyway. So that's kind of how I play sometimes. Sometimes it's worth keeping hold of 5 tiles if you know it's a good leave, but we'll go into that in other tutorial videos, I suppose. In this case, I'm trying to show you how to deal with what fate has dealt a bad hand. Basically, I've really struggled so far on my racks, apart from civilians. Right, so in this case, the best letters on your rack are D, I, and R, T. You get rid of U and P if possible. Of course, the Q is still unseen, as I intimated in the last video. Not always the worst thing to keep hold of a U if you don't know where the Q is, because you could easily get bum raped by some kind of late pickup of Q if you don't hold on to your U, so definitely worth it. In this case, Trin is probably my best leave, and I can see a reasonable score here. I'm just going to have to go out on a limb and hope that Quackle doesn't have something that can put there. Obviously, E is the most common hook of dupe to dupe, and I might well be duped into playing that play. It's not the most advisable, but at the same time, my rack is not particularly nice, and I don't know. I just like to play my own game sometimes and not worry about my opponents, and hope for a bit of luck maybe. And it does sometimes find me out, but I have been really successful in general, so that's what I'm doing here. And I've been completely done. Of course I expected that. And look at the pickup. I've picked up 3 more consonants. This is not my game. You know when it's not your game sometimes, and this is not mine. I'm already nearly 200 behind Quackle without doing much wrong whatsoever. And this can happen to you. You can't get too down on yourself when it happens to you, because if your opponent's playing perfect Scrabble, that's going to happen. You know, basically, law of averages. You know, I could easily thrash Quackle the next game. You know, doesn't matter. It's going to happen to you. Don't get too down on yourself. Don't worry about it. Just play your own game. Just keep playing the tiles. Just try and enjoy it. You know. In this case, I'm going to try. I always try and get rid of a V as soon as possible, because V's are very, very undesirable. I probably my least favourite letter to pick up is V, probably, because it has no hooks, front or back, for a two-letter word, and it's just awkward. It's just really awkward. It really sets you back. You don't want to necessarily play a V when you're chasing like a catch-up, like I am, like 160, well, nearly 160 behind. You don't want to play V somewhere like here. I'm thinking Virtu, VIRTU, which is an artistic term there. But you don't necessarily want to do that because you've got like a potential hooking spot with the S at the end there for an 8-letter word, and also, you know, in theory, just going through these 3 letters. Whereas there's no potential for a bingo in this area, so you might as well play on that U instead for the same points. Whilst you know, if I was ahead, I'd play Virtue here because I'm trying to block things, but I'm not trying to block things. I'm trying to open things up for myself, so I'll play Virtue there instead. That's what I'm doing there. That's the reason. And did I just pick up nothing but consonants yet again? I'm not sure. No, I didn't. I picked up A. Great. Thank you very much, Quackle. This game never ceases to amaze you how unlucky you can get. But what a crap set of racks I've had. Really crap. I'm trying to make a bloody tutorial for you guys to play Scrabble. How can I possibly effectively give you a tutorial if I'm going to get this kind of rubbish all game? Anyway, again, we'll have to try and play off some consonants. This is tough though. There's possibly a Maori word or something through the II. Tahini, patini. I don't know. Anyway, what Quackle did there, it's not part of its intelligence, but it's a good move, is to play across there, and it blocks off all those potential 8 tracks. Of course, I've not been touching just of an 8 with the letters I've had recently anyway, but yeah, that's a good move to do. If you know you're ahead, as I was explaining earlier, you want to close things off and not open things up, I might definitely close things off there. So that's a good move by Quackle. What a bitch that it is. In hindsight, when I had the V, I'm not sure I could have played anything, but I would just take a V in front for Vaward. Something like Div would have been quite a cool move if I had a D across there, but I couldn't anyway. So right. So I'm just going to have a little think about what I can do now. There's not a great deal available to me, unfortunately, after Quackle's closing move. I'm not sure whether there would have been before anyway. What can I do? I don't know. This is starting to dry out as a video, isn't it? It's probably started off as a dry video anyway. I want to play through the I, basically, or the II. I can. Not a great deal of it. I can do Lathy, I think. L-A-T-H-I. That is me awful leave. I've Poon, P-W-N, which is not a Scrabble word, but should be. It's a verb. Tell you what, I'm just going to fuck it off. I don't like this game very much. It's really doing me in. I've had a 200-point deficit. I haven't made a great deal of sense. And I'm annoyed, so I'm going to end it now. Bye-bye.